It was brought to him as a result of news reports where the previous owner, the Sherman family, who acquired the property in 1994 to farm and ranch the property, ended up experiencing some of the most bizarre and disturbing phenomena on the property. The Deseret News ended up running a big story at the time back in the mid 90s, revealing that the Shermans were dealing with a lot of bizarre cattle mutilation activity. Many of their prized herd continuously mutilated with surgical precision in the middle of the day in broad daylight with not a trace of who the perpetrators were, along with stunning UFO activity and other activity that many would refer to as poltergeist type activity. The Shermans bought it from the heirs of the Myers family, or it's an older couple. The Myers, which the last survivor was Edith Myers, Kenneth and Edith Myers owned the property, had occupied it really since the 1940s. And their family had had interest in that area since the 1930s, when the original homesteaders sold the property, as well as the Native American tribal individuals in that area had staked out a position as well. So it has a very unique, interesting history. A lot of people questioned whether there was really any strange activity that preceded Bigalow or the Shermans, inferring that there may have been some type of concocted fraud or sensationalized account in order to garner activity or interest. I found under our investigation that is not only untrue, but we have verified through retired law enforcement and credible witnesses in the community. In fact, many respected community leaders, that strange activity was happening on the ranch long before Bigalow or Sherman owned it. In fact, we've verified the first cattle mutilation reports on the property going back to the 1930s, which only deepens the mystery relative to this property. The name Skinwalker Ranch, Andy, comes from Native American tradition. It is said that the property and the ridge, the Mesa Plateau that runs across the property from east to west, is cursed to be in the path of the Skinwalker, or what is a Native American werewolf-like creature or a shape-shifting demonic entity of their tradition. There was an altercation between the Navajo and the Ute tribes back in the 1800s, where the Utes apparently had sided with the United States government. There were other issues relative to slavery that took place, and ultimately the Navajo were placed a curse on this property that continues to this day. In fact, tribal leaders have been cautioning their youth and their people not to even look the direction of this property for generations, lest the demonic shape-shifting entities and other negativity follow them home and visit all sorts of challenging things upon their lives. So it is steeped in mystery, a superstition or tradition that is cultural in nature, as well as classified government programs dealing with the reality of the UFO phenomena.
What's Mr. Bigalow up to these days? Is he still alive?
Yeah, he is. In fact, he is. He's actively engaged with Bigalow Aerospace to put his inflatable space habitats not only up in space to replace the International Space Station. He has a unit, one of his modules on the International Space Station that has been validated for life safety systems and to essentially replace the tin cans that we've been using up until this point. He also has developed the habitats to be actually installed on both the lunar or moon surface as well as Mars, and has had discussions with SpaceX as a partner and NASA to essentially provide the facilities and the technology to enable colonization of space. So his attention turned to those priorities, which led to the opportunity for me to acquire the property. His science advisors reached out to me in 2015 with the opportunity to potentially acquire the ranch as Mr. Bigelow's attention had turned to the private space race. I expressed both my interest, but also my skepticism, was invited to fly down to Las Vegas to meet with Mr. Bigelow, which I appreciated. And upon arrival at the Bigelow Aerospace compound, I was very surprised to find what I describe as the equivalent of a Bond villain lair. I mean, 500,000 square feet of 80-foot clear enclosed manufacturing buildings that house full-scale space stations and space habitats that have been designed and undergoing testing to provide the life safety systems, the material science, and support for space colonization. And it was a very interesting meeting. I have great respect for Robert Bigelow as a pioneer, as someone that I view as courageous, even though at the time I didn't agree with there being any strange activity and was a skeptic. I had an open mind and told him that I'd bring my own independent team of scientists and professionals to the ranch. And even though I fully expected to find that there was a natural prosaic explanation for all that had been reported, I also respected the fact that this individual, Mr. Bigelow, had dedicated funds, significant monies, and his own reputation to these topics. I have great respect for anyone who is willing to devote resources and reputation and time to frontier science topics like this. It is not for the faint of heart, Andy. It is a treacherous field with landmines everywhere, and not a friendly place in many weeks.
Yeah, I have nothing but respect for people who are on the front leading edge as well. I got to be honest, that's the best business card I've ever heard. The only licensed real estate agent for space. I mean, yeah, it's not bad. As far as business cards go, it's not bad.
No, it's pretty badass. I actually I actually found it quite impressive that he really has been positioning for a very long time to be the real estate developer of space. And I hope that he achieves that. Yeah. He's an older gentleman, but he seems to have boundless energy and curiosity. And I wish him only the best. I believe that we stand on the shoulders of giants.